as in Nancy, A-S.
A-S as in Sam?
Yep,
Thanks. At Gmail?
at Gmail.
Thank you.
raypultinas@gmail.com. Any other questions?
Do you do any projects in the common spaces? Like Riverdale Park is really kind of a mess as far as nature planning goes.
Riverdale Park? Yeah, I mean, we don't have a project right now at Riverdale Park. I mean, we frequent Riverdale Park and we love the forestry aspect of it.
Well, that's really under the
Parks Department.
the
Yeah.
jurisdictions.
I think we've been, working, there's a great, Kate, you want to share some of our other projects
Are we
actually?
getting back in the dirt in ethical culture?
Yeah, well, at the Riverdale Yonkers Society for Ethical Culture, we've been removing invasives, and we kind of in front of the building and started a whole native garden. So anyone that likes to garden and doesn't have a place to put your hand in, we welcome volunteers to help us.
Last year we met, I say we, but I never made it. Kay's been meeting weekly. There was a time, so get on the mailing list, and then everyone went to help and from different organizations and get together.
But we're also, we're a very new organization, really started about 2 years ago. So we're still looking for projects. If you have some suggestions and ideas, we can work on it together. All right, thanks so much.
Next on the agenda is Congressman Torres, but
Not yet.
he's not here yet.
Not yet, so we're going to hear from Bronx's blooming. Plant focused.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Good.
Great. I'm the guy who brought the trees. Okay. My name's John. I'm from the Bronx is Blooming. I'm the environmental program manager there. Just wanted to come up here and take like 2 minutes just to explain what we do and give a little bit of context and background to why we're doing the tree giveaway, and hopefully you'll be seeing more of me in the years to come. We are an environmental stewardship nonprofit based in the Bronx. Currently our office is located in the Highbridge section of the Bronx. We are focused on 3 key components of our work, environmental stewardship being the sort of the central component, but we perform environmental stewardship through community building events and youth leadership development. So what does that look like in practice? We have 2 major programs. One is called PLACE. It's the program for leaders advancing their community's environment. Every summer, we work with the Department of DYCD. I forget actually what the CD stands for, if anybody knows, but it's
Youth and Community Development.
Thank you, Community Development. Appreciate that. Youth and Community Development. That's not my jurisdiction, so I don't have to remember that, but SYEP, Summer Youth Employment Program. Last summer, we worked in 9 parks with 10 student groups and over 100 students from the SYEP program. We traditionally have approached this type of programming by flipping the traditional model. We train the trainer. So we work with Bronx college students that we hire. They get trained for about a month starting in June. To lead a group of SYEP students. They'll get anywhere from 6 to 8 students assigned to their group. And that group will work for 6 weeks in their neighborhood park. What do they do in the park? It's pretty variable, right? So we have a group in Moshulu. They are just putting mulch rings around trees and shrubs all summer. That's really all we're currently capable of doing in that park. We want to expand, especially on the Webster Avenue side, and start adding garden beds and, like Ray was saying, adding more native flora to the area. But if your group was in Soundview Park, in the almost the opposite side of the Bronx, we're currently there. We're working in about 5 to 6 acres of an old mugwort field and doing complete forest restoration. So far we've planted about 900 trees and shrubs and over 1,000 native herbaceous perennials. So it's pretty variable what we do from park to park, but it's all with the goal of creating a more colorful and greener Bronx, particularly in Bronx parks. Our work is not limited to parks, however. The other major program we do, it's called Green. It's Grow, Revitalize, Educate, Engage, and Nurture. That's community building. That's volunteer events on the weekends. That's what I manage, as well as the tree giveaway program, our education program, working with private landowners, schools, and other organizations, community-based in the Bronx, to engage people in environmental stewardship through workshops, through giveaways, and just build community around the environment where there's currently, less engagement. So, in neighborhoods like Crotona, working with the Friends of Crotona Park, as well as certain landowners, we work with community access there to steward some of their garden spaces. So it's really a mixed bag from neighborhood to neighborhood, what we do, but it's all with the goal in mind of environmental stewardship. I hope this is making sense. So that's really the long and short of it. Our programs run year round. I'm just here to kind of put a face to the name and to the trees. If you have more questions, I left my card up there, john@bronxisblooming.org. Also just check out our website, www.bronxisblooming.org, or shoot us an email at our info@bronxisblooming.org. It goes on and on. But yeah, we are always looking for groups to work with in the Bronx, whether that's for a volunteer project, if you have a company, or you work with a community organization that wants to come out and volunteer in one of our parks, or you'd like to partner on a site. We're definitely open to discussing the many different ways groups can engage and partner together here. And I'll just close, I guess, with thanking Rachel and the rest of the board here for having me, and hope we can work together, and have a great rest of your week, everybody. Sorry?
Can you tell us what?
Certainly, yes. If Congressman will allow. So on the far left there, the tallest trees we have are river birches. I brought 4 of those. What I'll also say before I explain any further is I have more of these. So if you didn't get the tree you wanted tonight for whatever reason, just reach out. We could try to make something work. I have a lot more to give away, okay? And as I think I forgot to mention, but we have funding for this program for the next couple of years, so we'll be doing this seasonally over probably the next 5 years or so, probably longer. Save my email. On the far left, or your right, is river birches, really fast grower. As you can see, they're growing to the ceiling. I don't know if you're familiar with these, very common city tree at this point. Really nice exfoliating bark, orange, white. To their left is swamp white oak. I wanted to include some oak just because that's one of the best trees you can plant for native environment. And then we have shortleaf pine, persimmon, which can either be 100 feet or 15 feet, depending on how much you water it. We also have one black gum here. And then I have off to the further on the right in the carts are more of our 15 to 30 foot trees. All of these are labeled. If they're missing a label, they're with their sister trees. Great. So you can always look up more information about them, or if you have more questions, you just shoot us an email. Thanks again, everybody. And,
I had one question. Did you name any of your trees after Howard Cosell?
Not yet.
One of the things that we love to do here in the Riverdale Nature Preservancy is where we're connecting development and land use and nature and green is pulled together, right? Plant Native and Bronx is Blooming. And we have Michael here who's building a forest in memorial for firefighters perished on 9/11. We can connect everybody, right? We can connect the dots. We can connect from city to state to federal. So in the past, we've had city electeds here. Today, I'd like to welcome our Congressman, Richie Torres. Thank you for being here. Congressman Torres is the congressman in a lot of the parts of the Bronx that you are working in, so I hope there's future partnership there. Is a champion of affordable housing and rebuilding the economy and, overcoming economic inequality and quality education for all. He's really also an environmental and a climate champion for the Bronx and in Congress. He also recently announced that he brought over $40 million to our borough, which is amazing. Schools, hospitals, libraries, parks, and housing as well. And one of the things I wanted to point out is that his office also just announced that in the last year you solved over 2,600 constituent cases. So if you have issues that relate to the federal level, this office is one that helps you. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our congressman. Thank you. You can do just like an intro on environmental stuff and then we have Q&A. If you want me to just
Yeah, let's do it.
You want me to jump to Q&A?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Should we sit?
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Okay, so I'll just review. Can everyone hear me? You good? Okay. What do we do? Well, we monitor local development and we initiate and participate in long-term planning. The congressman was a city council member, so super involved in local long-term planning, and we provide information like making sure that our neighborhood protects the SNAD. We here in Riverdale have the SNAD, which is a land use. So we'll start with questions. These questions were submitted by participants and gone over by the board, and the board submitted questions also. So a lot